You are now tuned into Mixstation Radio Live. The views and the opinions of the guests and the hosts you hear on Mixstation Radio Live are not necessarily those of the staff and the management of Mixstation Radio Live, its sponsors, or advertisers.
Hey, I want to start a podcast.
Join the mix.
Can I broadcast to millions all over the world?
Join the mix.
Can I control my own content and share my show?
Join the mix.
Can I promote my product and my events?
Join the mix. Mixstation Radio is a worldwide internet radio station that specializes in video and audio podcasts on all social media platforms. You can download our free app, Mixstation Radio Live. That's MIXX Station Radio Live. We have 2 locations in Tulsa, Maryland, and Eastern Shore, Maryland. With our new service, you can host your own show from home with Mix Mobile. That's MIXX Mobile.
Did you say I can broadcast from home?
Yes, we have a new service called Mix Mobile. We can come to your location or you can log on virtually.
Hold up. That can't be true, man.
Yes, Mixstation can air any show from anywhere in the world, and all you need is a strong internet connection. Also, we have a toll-free 1-800 number.
So you're telling me I can stream on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all the formats all at the same time and have people calling with comments?
Yes, join the mix. If you want to join the mix, email us at mixstation@gmail.com. Again, mixstation@gmail.com. That's MIXX station@gmail.com.
Inside me. When the pressure and heat builds in my vaginal walls, I become like a volcano, ready to erupt at the height of my orgasm. Oh! No one, my dear, has ever come close to this love you inspire. You fill my soul with so much joy. For you, my dear, are my heart's desire. Oh.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wired.
What's up, everybody?
Good evening, Facebookers, YouTubers, Instagrammers, and everybody else out there in Radio Land. Mm-hmm. We are live tonight, Intimate Conectionz.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm here with my co-host, and it's just us two, so this is going to be a freestyle show. Rich, we miss you tonight. But just know that your presence is felt. We'll
Yes,
see
sir.
you on the next go round.
Yes, sir.
But tonight we just gonna have a good time and talk about all kind of stuff.
Good evening. What's up, everybody? This is JS Choir. Happy to be here. It's been a minute. I feel like I missed the last couple
Did you
episodes,
miss
right?
the last couple? Definitely
Maybe.
last week.
Yeah. Shout out
But
to
you had stuff going on.
Steve Jackson of the Soft Tones.
Mhm.
So glad he got to come through, but I'm
got
mad that I
you too.
missed that. But nonetheless.
I enjoyed it
Yeah,
though.
I'm glad,
I
I'm
definitely enjoyed it. And
So yeah.
Steve is he's interesting. Well, they both. I
Steve
enjoyed
and
both
JJ.
of them. Yeah. So it was just funny. Thank you. And it was a good time. I learned a lot of history about the Soft Tones, and then being able to see the performance last Saturday was just amazing. It was great to be, amongst greatness. And let me tell y'all something, because I don't want to downplay this, but this one here performed, he sang, and he was so smooth, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. He did his thing. And it wasn't my first time seeing him perform, but it was my first time seeing you perform in a group.
Right. Shout out to the Shadows.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Shadows.
It was a great time.
Yeah, we had a good time. We had
Yeah.
a great time. The show was great, and I thank you so much for being there.
Yeah, it was an honor to be there.
Yeah, it was an honor to have you there. So I was really glad about that.
Yeah, so with that, it's funny because it was a diverse room. You had the old and young.
Mm-hmm.
And so the table that I sat at, a couple of the young ladies, it's funny because, they weren't cougars. I want to say they might have been the guy Ronnie's people.
Yeah, some of them might have been.
Yeah, and so they was rocking and stuff, but I think a couple of the tunes they didn't know. But nonetheless, you could tell they was having a good time.
It was a
And
lot
it
of
was
fun.
great energy.
A lot of fun.
I love the table that I
10-piece
sat at.
band.
See?
Again, a
Yeah.
drummer, 2 guitar players, 2 keyboard players, a bass player, a horn section, and a string player.
Yeah.
So it ended up being 15 of us on stage at once. It
Wow.
was a 5-man group. It was a 15-piece situation.
That's something.
Yeah, but I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, I got an opportunity to live out my dream of stepping and singing like I was a New Edition.
And you were
being a
stepping, okay?
Big New Edition fan. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Shout outs to them and much appreciated.
Nick, are we live on
We are
YouTube?
live, baby.
I don't see it on YouTube. Hold up.
So how was the rest of your weekend?
The rest of my weekend was good. So listen, I left the show Saturday, headed to the drive-in. Was going to see Final Destination at the drive-in. Yes, don't judge me. So anyway, what I didn't realize, we left a little late, but I didn't know you had to be there by 11 in order to get in. And so you know how you looking forward to something. My mouth was watering for some popcorn and stuff.
You were
So,
excited about that.
I was so excited.
So very excited.
Yeah. So when we couldn't get in, I can't find it. When we couldn't get in, I was like, damn, I could have stayed where I was. So anyway, but
That's
it
all
still
right, we
ended
partied
up.
for you.
Yeah, it still ended up being a decent night. But I was looking forward to the movie itself.
And popcorn.
And popcorn.
Yes.
Mainly
yes.
the popcorn.
Can't forget the popcorn.
Yeah, their popcorn is good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how my night went. Your night, like you're a singer. So I mean, while I didn't see anybody throw panties up on the stage, how did your night end?
Well, I shook a lot of hands, kissed a lot of babies, hugged a lot of
Kissed
people.
a lot of babies.
Yeah, we did those usual things. Just a lot of gratitude.
Okay.
You know, just really happy to be in a position to do what it is that I do and do what I love to do.
Okay.
So I was really happy about that. But that was pretty cool. I was exhausted though because we've been working at it nonstop for the last couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt good to just kind of be able to go home and, you know.
Right,
So,
right.
But back to, you know, business as usual.
Yeah.
You know.
So no love connections were made.
No, not at all. I think somebody was trying to hook me up with somebody.
Oh, okay.
But we were both looking like, nice to meet you.
Okay, that's funny. So, I want to talk about the dating, the dating pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been on a blind date?
No.
Would you?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, or does it depend on the source? Like who's making the connection?
I'd say yeah.
Okay.
Because everybody's taste is different.
That's true.
And they could say somebody is, you know, they think someone is attractive and they may not be my type.
Right.
Or I might not be their type. So, you know, I think it would just depend. I mean, man, I don't know. I've never thought about it. I've never thought about that.
Would I go on a blind? Well, I'm not going to say. Well, what I will say, it wasn't necessarily a blind date, but when I met John, we talked for a while before we actually met.
Mm-hmm.
Great conversation. But the source, the connection that was made, I trusted their judgment because they knew me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say it doesn't matter who's actually, you know, making the connection. Like certain people I know can't fix me up.
Mm-hmm.
Because their idea of this person would be good for you, but they don't. It's always off. And I'm like, what the hell was you thinking? Kind of
Right,
thing.
yeah. What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say?
What you saying? Like,
Yes.
What you saying?
Yes. Yeah, so I guess you had to be careful with that. What about online?
I've never done that either.
You never done that?
I've always met people in person because I'm a busybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, between doing shows, being in the studio, or just being out and about with my children or with my friends or something like that, I've met people.
Yeah.
So I'm not above it.
Okay.
But I just haven't. I'm still stuck in that old way.
And I'm like that. I like organic.
No, let me say this. I've met people online, but not on a dating site.
Okay.
So, and I haven't really had a connection with those people other than they just turn out to be really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something about creating synergy from the jump that makes it make more sense than some computerized. You got all the nerve and the time in the world to talk to me, and then when I see you in person, you don't have much to say, or it's just dead. It's just dead. It's a waste of my time and your time.
Right.
You know, I'm big
I would
on time
agree.
these days.
Yeah, me too. Because it's a commodity.
It is.
You know, and I think
It's
we take
priceless.
it for granted. Yeah.
That's the most priceless thing you have is time.
Absolutely. So I do like to choose how I spend my time because it's so precious. So back in the day, and we're talking about this online dating thing. Back in the day, I used to be a romance counselor for
I can see that.
Together Dating Service.
I can see that.
So eHarmony kind of modeled their online dating after Together Dating Service. But at that time, the population we served was mainly high-ranking military. So it was so cool because I got to meet so many amazing people. I think I put together 8 couples. But it was such a cool, like, for me at the time I was married, but I thought, okay, maybe I could do something like this. We did the background checks. We just took all of the guesswork out and just kind of match people based on like the conversation that we had with them, and then they had like an interest form that they had to complete.
Well, let me ask you this. How many of those, what was the success rate of those relationships?
The 8, 6 of them got married to each other.
How many are still married?
They're still married.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they invite you to the weddings?
I went to 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's big.
It was such an honor to be there because I'm like, I did this. You know, like, it was just so cool. And the friendships, you know, you develop friendships because you're trying to help people find their person. And that probably was the most fun job I ever had.
You're really good at love.
Yeah, I love love. And it's just like it was amazing, like just meeting people and being a part of the connection and watching them build with one another. It made me think like I could probably do this, but it's a different time now. So everybody was telling me, you know, give the online apps a try. I did reluctantly, and I had probably like 2 bad experiences, and I was like, this shit is not for me. I had one guy that I don't share my social media with people.
I got you.
Yeah. I feel like it's much easier if I'm going to connect to give out my phone number because I can always block them. But I don't want people having access to my social media like that. So it was one guy I was talking to, and he kept wanting to find out who I was, blah, blah, blah. And so finally he found my page, right? And his response was, oh, you're, I wouldn't be able to hang in your circle. You seem like you surround yourself with a lot of people. You know, the stuff that you talk about on your show, I'm out of your league. But my whole thing was, I pretty much said, don't look for my social media. Get to know me. And then once he found it, it was like, oh yeah.
Social media is a product.
Right.
It's a tool.
Right.
Promotional tool.
Right.
These days, that's what it is.
Yes.
You know?
That's what, well, that's, I mean, like when you're a singer, you know, so we use it to promote right. our brands. I'm not on there looking to make a love connection. So in that instance, I was annoyed about that. Like, damn, I mean, just let's talk. Let's get to know each other. You know, don't judge me based on my social media because I mainly get on there to promote this. So after a while, like, I just noticed him just popping up, commenting on certain stuff, and I just was so annoyed by it. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, this ain't my shit. I didn't want to do it in the first place. So I'm like, I can't do the online dating app because I do like to meet one-on-one.
Well, I know for me right now, I am, for the first time in my whole entire adult life, I am extremely single. There are no options. There's no side, really. I'm just single. And I enjoy it.
Okay, I was going to ask
something
that.
about it has been invigorating for me. Something about it has been freeing for me.
Okay.
Very freeing for me. It's been a clarity that I've never had as an adult, and I love it.
That's powerful.
It's been the opportunity to really get into John. Yeah. Because I'm into JS Choir. I'm into being. I go by the JS Choir brand. I go by Dad. I go by Daddy. Yeah. I go by him, the guy that you with, whatever you want to call me. but I'm never just able to be me. And for the last several years, I felt like my life has been, and my spirit and my mind have been clogged and cluttered with people.
Okay.
And movement.
Okay.
And so now I really just the epiphanies, or as my homeboy Evan likes to call them, the epiphanies.
I
The
like
epiphanies that I have
Definitely like
had the
that.
opportunity to have has just been amazing. Like
Yeah.
I can't even really describe. It's not so much peace as much as it's clarity. As much as it's individuality and as much as it's freedom.
Yeah,
I love that for
that's
me.
a beautiful feeling, right? That you don't hear all this noise.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't have, it's so strange, like the level of expectation that can come with relationship is crazy. Like they expect you to be more to them than you are to yourself.
I agree.
Some people, sometimes. And I just wasn't into that anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
So when the last situation I had wasn't making sense, you know, I was like, let's just be friends. And but I think God knows. They say God knows your heart, and what that really means is the things that you'll speak. People think it means He knows that you're a good person or a kind person. No, that's character.
Right.
He knows the truest thoughts and feelings of you. Those are the things that really radiate off of you. So when you get in a position where even if your mouth is not saying it but your heart says it,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna succeed or sabotage. You know, it's whatever's really on your mind and in your heart. And I think it was in my heart to really be single.
Yeah.
And it's just been such a purging of spirits. I just enjoy it. Like I love it. It's just me and my kids. I went out last week. Shout out to my daughter Noelle. She graduated middle school, and my oldest daughter Jayla turned 18. And so we went out to dinner. And my oldest daughter asked me about who I was dating, and I was like, nobody. And she was like, so you don't date anyone, Dad? Thank you. Better late than never.
That's right.
And I said no. And she said, well, why not, Dad? And I said, I would much rather spend my time right now working on spending my time with y'all
Right.
and myself. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
All I care about is making beautiful memories with my children, my family, and my friends, and making this music thing happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm so focused. I was telling my mom earlier, I was like, Mom, it's a shift. And I feel it. It's a dope shift. You know, but I think because you've said it a million times, everybody should take the time to be by themselves.
Absolutely.
Did you feel like that when you first got by yourself? Once you got used to it?
When
Because
I
you do
got-
have to get used to it.
You do, and that was the adjustment period.
Right.
So I wouldn't date
Right.
during that time because I had to really know who I was outside of this marriage that I'm no longer in. You know, so I feel like sometimes when you're married, especially for a long time, you lose a part of yourself. So I had to rediscover who I was outside of that. And I didn't want to be distracted by dating.
For sure.
Yeah. So,
For sure.
and going back, you know, I've read a lot, and I remember reading something about the heart, right? If the heart isn't right, if you're not, if you get all this noise in your head, but the heart knows what it knows
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's not distracted by noise.
That's where the vibration comes from.
Yeah, yeah, and so I had to know, like, that I started looking at the things that I wanted to do and that I could, because it was just me that I was responsible for. And so the healing part for me, I moved with my son and my granddaughter. And so I could connect to what you're saying in terms of spending time with the girls. I don't think my healing would have been as great if it wasn't for that time with them. I needed them and they needed me, but it helped me grow and just understand who Jackie was and how my needs changed. So, and for a long time, I really was opposed to dating because I feel like it's necessary to take the time to get to know you. And I realized over time, I love the space.
It is nothing like
oh my God,
waking up to yourself in the morning.
Yes,
When you let me tell you something. When you love yourself, it makes a difference.
It does.
Cause you wake up like, good morning, me.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do today?
Right.
You know what? I'm gonna take my kids out to the movies.
Yeah.
And then later on, I'm gonna call my best friend. We gonna go have some drinks. Me and my best friend Nick went to see the Wu-Tang Clan last week before the concert.
How was it?
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope. But
Okay.
now he's newly single.
Wow.
And he's been my best friend since I was 7 years old.
Okay.
Right? And we just had an opportunity. It felt like we both said like, yo, it was like we was 16 all over again. Because it was no phone ringing and having to text nobody every 5 seconds. We were in there going off, screaming and hollering those words, protect your neck and all of that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it was dope. Even after that show, it was amazing to just be able to think. It wasn't, let me hurry up and get home to her so she won't feel the way, or let me take her home, or let me get off stage.
There was no pressure.
Cater to her, none.
Yeah,
and I
no
enjoy
pressure.
that right now.
Yeah.
Like I was telling my little brother Javon, shout out to Javon. We were talking about 3:00 this morning, and we were talking about relationships, and I was just telling him like, yo, like this is the greatest time ever for me because I've always had somebody. Some of those relationships were accidental, but nonetheless, there was always somebody. I could have a girl, and it's not all the time, but there were times I could have 2 girlfriends and 4 side chicks.
Wow.
1 girlfriend and 3 side chicks. All side chicks.
I'm gonna say that in itself is stressful.
Super.
Yes.
Super.
Yes.
Super. Listen, you could go from, say me and you getting up, you spend the night, we have a great night.
Yeah.
It's over really, really late, and I gotta get up really, really early.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. I'm mad at myself because I only got 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And then I get a text from her, and it starts over again.
Yeah.
And then that's over, and it's just a rotation. It just keeps going.
Right.
To the point you feel like your body is just used.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to be like that anymore.
Yeah. And I think, though, when you get to a place, because I had been, by myself for a while, and even in this situation, first I was like, nah, I think I'm good. And, but then I realized, too, like, even after us talking on the phone, like, okay, this could be something. And I'm getting ready to block my blessing. Like, I feel like the space that I'm in now, I can open myself up fully to someone. I didn't always feel that way. Yeah, so I think I had to go through some things to kind of get to that point. So, I love that. I love being in a relationship because I feel like I'm still a work in progress, but I'm the best version of myself that I've been in a long time. And that's why I go back and I always stress this. You gotta take the time to be alone. A lot of times we'll go from relationship to relationship, but never take the time to allow ourselves to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it the snapback.
The snapback.
Because sometimes it's not so much about healing as much as it is about just getting back to the source.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can be in a relationship with somebody and it wasn't terrible, it just didn't work.
Right.
So there's no reason to always feel like, I had to tell, Javon this, like, you got certain terms don't equate to what we going through. So like, but I do believe sometimes you just got to get back to the source.
Yeah.
And the source is you, and the source is God.
Yeah.
The source is God, and the source is you. And that's why he says he is the truth, the way, and the light, because he will realign you. He will line you in a way that you never lined up with yourself before.
Yeah.
You know, I got things that I'm super tired. Like I haven't slept really good in weeks. But there's so many things I said I want to start writing again when I get home. And I got books that I haven't read yet. And, you know, and I probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks my album will be done. But I gotta get back into me.
Yeah.
You know, because I've given so much of myself, so much of my time, so much of my space. That's a big thing too. When you give so much of your space.
Yeah, you feel drained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't. And what's crazy about that is, I could love you all day, but every once in a while, I need just a little bit of breathing room.
Everybody needs quiet time.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
So yeah. I get that now. And another thing we talked about was, every mistake somebody makes isn't intentional in a relationship.
I agree. People
have moments of weakness. People grieve about certain situations, and they do dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And then I also, I said we talked about how you feel when after a breakup, and he was going into his, you got to deal with your emotions and all of that. And for me, I said I don't look at it as an emotional gala for me. You know what I look at it as? I appreciate it. Like if we were dating and you cheated, even if I'm hurt, I know that where I'm at right now, you're not meant to be. I know that I'm supposed to be doing something else. And I feel like God is telling me something. Yeah. God whisper. My father used to say, you never know what God is whispering in people's ears at night.
I agree.
And so I always look at it like, I'm grateful for the experience, but something better is coming, and you won't even matter to me at some point.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, too, because I think sometimes when things happen, we blame ourselves. But there's a lesson in the breakup. That person was supposed to be with you at that time for you to get this lesson, so that when you're done with that relationship and you start working on yourself to find that happy place with self, then you can take that lesson that you learned to become, a better person to someone else. And I do feel like we're different in each relationship that we're in, because some people have a way of making you want to be better. Then you could be in another type of relationship and you're like all over the place, and it could be toxic or whatever, but you're stuck. You can't grow with that person. I think that happens too. And sometimes people stay because it's comfortable. But you stay, but in staying, you become stagnant. You're not motivated to want to do anything because this relationship has sucked the life out of you. And I think that got a phantom or something. But I think that when you're in that space where you're not growing, you got to look at the person you're with and how you are with them. If you feel like you're not motivated to do anything, then maybe that's not the space you need to be in. And I think that happens more often. I think people stay because it's comfortable. It's what they know. What they say, the devil you know.
Yeah, better the devil you know.
Yeah, exactly. But
sometimes you don't even want to know the devil, though.
Yeah, right.
What about the God you know? Right?
I agree, but I think that it's not, sometimes people have this thing where you can work through anything, but not if it's emotionally bankrupting you. And I think that's the thing we have to understand. You're not meant to be in this space where you feel like you're drowning. If you all can't go to therapy or whatever to kind of like try to work through things, or the other party might not want to work through things, it's time to go. And I know it's easier said than done, but like I feel like how much should you allow yourself to sink in the sea, I should say. You know, don't allow yourself to drown. You just
that comes with being strong enough.
That's a great
to
point.
Listen to yourself.
Exactly.
To listen to to pay attention and check your radar.
Yeah.
And I really feel like at this point at 40, I kept hearing, and this was weird, I kept having this feeling like God was saying life begins for you at 40.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, like my emotional intelligence is crazy now. And I was telling Javon that last night, like, you know, at some point you gotta put feelings to the side and start being emotionally sound, emotionally intelligent. That doesn't mean you don't have those feelings,
right? But
you know how to process them,
right?
And sometimes people will think you coming off as an a-hole, but it's just like, I'm not about to go there because you going there, like,
right? That's
not my emotional compass. Is not to act the fool,
right?
You know, the last woman I was with was literally mad at me one time because I won't get into what happened, but she was mad because I didn't call her for a whole day after we argued, and she kind of blew me with a situation. And she's like, "Are you okay with not talking to me for a day?" I said, "Absolutely. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it."
Right.
I was like, "So we need to talk while you are in this emotional state of anguish."
Yeah.
For what you did, by the way. And I'm supposed to like be a part of that. I'm not doing that. I'm protecting it. I'm protecting my sanity.
You got
I'm trying to find words other
yeah,
than space and peace and toxic and masculinity. Those are like the root words right now. And
those are triggers for some.
And broken.
Yeah.
Those are like the words right now.
Yeah.
Right? Vibe. But I wanted to. I actually literally told her, I said, "You are dealing with a man who has emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
You are not going to get the reaction that you want out of me very often.
Yeah.
Unless I'm really pissed or I'm really tired or whatever, you're not going to get that out of me."
Right. So. And I think that's important, you know, because not everybody is there. And it takes work. You know, one thing we talked about, and I love that you were open about speaking on healing and therapy. Because I feel like oftentimes men aren't, I mean, today more so, probably more men are going to therapy. But it's not a bad thing, especially if it helps you get back to your place of peace, you know, and gaining understanding, which understand your triggers and understand or heal from, you know, in the healing process with the trauma. Therapy could be your best friend.
Absolute best
you know?
friend.
So, but for so long in our community, it was taboo, and I think that's why so many of us are messed up. You know, it's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'd also say, if you're going to go talk to a therapist, talk to the therapist.
Yeah.
I've been in therapy for 6 years because I started experiencing so many deaths, right? But even in there, I was talking surface.
Okay.
It wasn't until maybe this year or the end of last year where I was completely honest with my therapist. Probably this year.
Okay.
And now I feel like, because it was to the point we were going to close it out because I'm like, I'm good.
Right.
But then I was just like, you know what? There are things that I never talked to him about. Maybe I should get some kind of clarity on this, or maybe I should talk about this to get this off my chest. And you know, so if you're gonna go to therapy, ladies and gentlemen, be very open with your therapist.
Yes.
I think.
And stop thinking that you're a therapist too.
that part.
I think us black people, we just scared that people judge you of the third B word.
I can see that.
We're afraid of anything that makes us safe.
Yeah.
Unsafe.
We don't like safety.
I ain't never
don't
see it from that point.
Yeah, we don't like protection. We don't like, talking to the police. We don't like letting anybody know when we're in fear or in pain or in danger. We are allergic to safety. We would rather suffer in silence.
That part.
Deal with something.
Yeah, that part.
You turn
right
up
there.
dead somewhere because ain't nobody know that you were in danger because you would just rather suffer in silence.
But the other side of that, right? Mm-hmm. I always say get naked with yourself. People don't want to have to face themselves. That's a scary space to be in because now you have to be accountable for your actions, and some people may not be ready for that. I think that's another reason that people don't go to therapy because now you gotta look at this person staring right back at you.
Because you never looked.
You never look.
You never look.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're looking at yourself through everybody else's lens.
Right.
You're looking at this thing this facade that maybe you put together, or just a version of you that they see that you're not even, or you don't see yourself as.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that we spend a lot of time walking past the self mirror.
Yeah. You gotta be willing to snatch the sheets off yourself.
And man, when you do, you know what? It is actually not as bad as you think it is.
It's true.
You're a lot better as a person than you think you are. You've done more than you think you have.
Right.
You succeeded more than you think you have. Failure just feels stronger than success.
Yeah.
You relive the failure because the failure is the lesson, right? So you have to keep going. Like if you're an athlete, you got to go back and look at highlights. If you're an artist, you got to listen to the playback.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but a lot of times it's better than you think it was. You did something right.
Yeah.
You may not have hit every note right, but it's like everything's good, but those 3 notes right there, let's just fix that.
You learn. Because I remember.
And that's the failure part.
So, I remember I bombed one time. And I knew it, right? The first 3 minutes was great. I had this piece of brownie and a couple of glasses of wine.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And
yeah,
I got
baby.
up
That's,
there,
oh, yeah, baby.
and after
That's
about the 3rd minute, and mind you, I stayed up on the floor for like 10 minutes. The rest of that time, I was like, I think I'm fucking high. Right? And I'm asking myself, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And even when they shined the light for me to get down, I was like, let me wrap up this story. But still, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? My stuff wasn't connecting. So when I watched it, I was like, at 3.5 minutes, I was like, it was over with. Like, oh my God, I watched it, I learned from it, and I'm like, okay, even the greatest bomb, but I think for me, it was my fault that I bombed, because I was high, like, oh my God, I can never do this shit again. So I learned from it, and I knew exactly where I messed up, and I was like, never again. I'll stick to the wine.
The way that we're wired, though, our failures linger far more than our faith in success do. But that's the thing that keeps you safe. Like, if you got mauled by a bear and survived it, you're gonna always think of that, so you never get mauled by a bear again. That's just the way that we're wired. But there has to be a part of you that's satisfied with what you did in that moment as,
Yeah.
as being the best you could have been in that moment. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So,
do. I learned from it though, and it was a hell of a lesson because I even think about now, like if I'm up on the floor in my mind, like I'm counting, like bam bam, punchline. You know, like I started doing that for myself so that I could stay on task. I know that edibles ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying? That was a very valuable lesson in that.
Stick to that Colt 45.
Stick to that, exactly, right, exactly. So, but that's what I'm saying. Things happen to us. We have failures. You learn from it. I feel like if you don't learn from your failure, then it is a complete failure. It's a lesson there that you have to, overcome it. You learn from it so that you don't make the same mistake again. So I wasn't mad for bombing, but I was like, God damn, this was like 10 minutes of just rambling. And I sent it to my brother, and my brother was like, God damn, yo, you suck. But I knew it. And that's the other side. Like, I know when it's not my best. I can feel it. Just like you probably, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of life.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even, I'm pretty sure Jesus didn't get everything right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And look at God. He made tons of accidental people. The Bible is full of errors. People that just, I know he like, I didn't.
Church, I was going to say church folk are probably like, no.
Like, no, think about
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
It's a group. It's a group of people who just were trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
God is like, I ain't know.
You wasn't supposed to be here.
Right. So now I gotta make them smarter. Like, okay, I gotta figure this out. I gotta figure this out. But that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we gotta be grateful for that.
Yeah.
And I am grateful for. I'm grateful for all those relationships and moments. Some of them, I used to feel like it was a waste of time, but they're not.
Yeah.
It literally shaped me and shaped this moment of joy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, I dig it.
So your newfound joy, right? Just the space that you're in right now. Did you ever think you would get to that point where I'm okay being alone. I'm okay just learning John and enjoying. I know we're mindful of words, but just having that peace. Like, you don't have to, the things that you want to do, you're able to do it because you're in that space now to do it. It's a newfound freedom.
I'm going to say it like this.
Yeah.
I dreamed about what it would be like to get to the front door.
Okay.
But I never thought about what it would be like when I got in.
Right.
And now that I'm in,
I like that.
It's what I needed.
Yeah.
And I enjoy, like I said, I enjoy sleeping all over my bed.
Yeah.
I enjoy looking at my phone and nobody is called.
Right.
Unless it's like a music thing on my kids or my homies.
Yeah.
Or people that I really don't mind talking to. I just enjoy it. I wondered what it would be like.
Okay.
It's like that part in the Drew Hill song, Never Make a Promise. Well, I only dream about it. I never knew what it was.
I love that song.
It's like, I used to literally be with a chick and be like, what would it be like to not be with anybody right now? What would it be like to just not feel this pressure to have to spend time, or not feel this pressure to hurry up and do what's making me happy? I just started feeling like I was sacrificing so much of what I thought would be my joy at that time. So now it's like, I've come to realize that but what I am grateful for is they stood in the way of some of the things that I thought would bring me joy, because in hindsight they wouldn't have.
Okay.
But I'm it's really dope.
And so
Took a little getting used to.
Yeah.
How long would you say it took you to get used to being single? Were you shocked when you got to that space? Were you like, oh my God, or were you like, oh, okay, let me think about this for a second?
Yeah.
Or was it all of those things?
I'm gonna say all of those things. I think I was in a fog at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know where to begin to get myself back on track and gain understanding of the person I was becoming. So it was an adjustment, but then I liked it.
Nothing better, right?
I liked it so much that I think, and it doesn't mean that there wasn't times that I wasn't lonely, but I think I started thinking about the aggravation
of not being lonely, right?
Yeah.
What it would take to not be lonely.
And so I started thinking about all of that, and I dated here and there, but it was never anything serious because I just felt like I wasn't ready to give my time like that, especially since I had gotten to a space where I like being alone. And it was okay. I feel like sometimes society makes it like it's not a good thing.
Blame it on the love songs.
Well, I love love songs. I loved them even when I was,
Yeah.
But I just think that it allowed me to grow and look at things from a different perspective. I wasn't pressed about being with someone, but over time it was like, okay, if I met somebody, I'm in a good place right now where I could give a good part of me to where I'm happy with me. So I could pour that into somebody else. So that was like, it probably took a few years though, to be honest, John, because I had to get to a place where I was happy with me. In the beginning I wasn't. Yeah, so I had to look at all of that. It's like peeling. I used to like onion pickles, so it's like peeling layers to get to this place, and I'm still working, but I'm in a much better place. So I understand what you're saying in terms of being able to just enjoy John. Yeah,
I like John. I always have.
Yeah.
I always have.
Yeah.
I've never been short on self-esteem.
Yeah.
Really. But But it does take a while to get used to just the energy of you, because
that's true.
Your energy is the only energy bouncing off that wall.
Right.
You're feeding yourself.
Yeah.
This energy that you're so used to everybody else giving you, or not.
Yeah.
But it's a dope thing.
It is. I would definitely agree, and I feel like timing is everything. Yeah. Going back to you being 40, this is probably the best time because you have a clearer understanding of you.
You know what it took for me?
What's that?
The week before I turned, I'm gonna say a week before I turned 40, me and two of my guys went to Vegas.
I remember y'all trip.
Yeah. And what was so unique about our trip was we only went out during the day, except for the Saturday night we were there. We went to a club. Okay. But we went out we were out all day. We would do everything in the daytime. We rode four-wheelers. We went to lunch. We went to dinner. We went on the strip. We hung out in our hotel, doing different things, brunches, but at night we shared a room. We had a nice big room. Okay. We shared a room, and at night, first of all, everybody would like crash for a couple hours, and then we fall asleep around like 7 and wake up at like midnight. Right. And now we're just up talking. And I realized just how much I loved being in that kind of space. Yeah. And I was like, God, if you allow me to be in a space where I can just be me, like I'll honor that.
Yeah,
And that's where we are.
Sometimes you need that. I definitely believe, you need that alone time. You need to be able to hear your thoughts. You need to be able to just, it's okay to be quiet. And just be in the moment, whether you're listening to music, meditating, because I just started going back to the temple.
Okay.
After a couple of months, I haven't been, and you know how you can kind of feel yourself, huh?
Buddhist?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah, I just started going back. As a matter of fact, I took John with me this past Sunday, but it felt good, and I for me, I started feeling like I'm not as in alignment. And I know a lot of it was because I haven't been, and I haven't been doing it on my own either. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get back to going to the temple. When I went through those doors, I just felt like I was gliding, like I was getting back in alignment. Mm-hmm. And it felt good. I was like, this is what I've been missing. And so it was really nice. And since that was his first time, it gave him something new. He enjoyed that. So I definitely would say find the things that you enjoy that would bring you peace. Yeah, because that's different. That's different for everybody. For me, it's the temple. It brings me peace. And then doing what I love, but everybody don't know what it is that would bring them that peace. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to taking the time to get to know what makes you tick. Is that a good choice of words? I think so.
It will be tonight.
Yeah.
We can work with it.
We can
it's whatever
work with
you want it to be.
So I feel like we all have defining moments, and I've had a few, and it kind of makes you feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. Even when I think about this path, being behind the microphone, I always go back to, at the age of 4, I always had something in my hand representing the mic. And now I'm I have the podcast, I'm doing comedy, so I'm still on my path. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and I think that's important because a lot of people are still searching to figure out what it is they want to do, what it is that would make them happy. So I feel like we're fortunate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I you know what? Today I saw a video that did the same thing for me. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes I do question, like, is it still what I want to do?
Yeah.
The music, what's next? Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
I'm going to just finish this album and that's it. Now, I ran across a video today and I sent it to my older sister because I was like, I needed this in this moment.
Yeah, see.
But I feel like never have I had so much clarity.
Okay.
Never have I heard God so clearly so often.
Okay.
Never have I had this sense of oneness with myself.
That's powerful.
I want that to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Like absolutely. I was telling, like, my best friend Nick, he was like, I still want that one person, and I was like, no doubt. But I look at it, but I said to him, I said, that's what's up, man. That makes one of us. Yeah. Because I'm at the point, I said, I'm in the space as of right now where I don't want that.
Okay.
I want me. I want what comes with, what is the focus of being. I never forget somebody I know, she just she got a house built last year. Mm-hmm. And I was congratulating her, and she's African, and she said, everything opened up for me when I decided to put myself first and focus. And she said, look at me now, I got a house.
And see, I think that's, because I think oftentimes we give so much of ourselves to others. I remember a couple of years ago, my cousin told me, one of my older cousins, he said, it's time for you to start being selfish. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was like, what? I can't do that, you know.
That's how I felt.
Right.
Like, no, I gotta always be loving and giving.
Right.
And depleting myself.
And that's key right there, because I was feeling drained. And I said, you know, for him to say that, it's something that I have to start thinking about. So I don't feel bad now if I tell somebody no.
Right.
Because I'm mindful, going back to time, of what I spend time doing. I don't have to say yes to everything, and it's okay. But it took a while to get to that point. And I like it. Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah, I like it.
And you deserve it.
Yeah. And
So
I love the space that you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
you know,
too.
I'm happy for you. I'm
I
definitely
do too. I don't know if
happy
my
for you.
kid's excited about it. Like, he is on me. Oh my
Right.
god.
Why don't he go somewhere?
Yeah, that's probably why my daughter asked me, like, Dad, can you find somebody to love him, please? So I can do stuff and you not notice.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I'm gonna notice either way, but
Yeah.
But I really and truly. Let me ask you this: do you feel like now that you're in a relationship, you've shown up as the best version of yourself?
I do. I like this person.
I can tell.
Oh my God, I
like it for
like
you.
this
And his name
person
is
that I
John.
am. Yeah, I know. I think the universe was trying to tell me something.
John's a good guy,
John's.
right?
Yeah, so I feel like I could give the best of myself. Well, in the past, you know, maybe the best wasn't available because I didn't know what that was. But now I have a clear understanding of that, and I could give myself so freely. Like, I never felt in this space, so it's different. I mean, people say you be smiling all the time, but I'm in a good place, and I love it.
And I love that for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Nick, how you feeling over there, Mr. Married Man? We going on a year, right?
Yeah, coming up August 10th.
That's right around the corner, literally.
Yeah, it's been wonderful for me. You know, the journey was something else, but in the beginning, you know, in the beginning of meeting my wife, well, I've been with my wife, but in the beginning of really getting back to knowing her, we healed each other. So that was the main thing for me, you know. Dating, the crazy part, I wasn't even trying to date nobody when I ran back into Laquanda, you know what I mean? I was really trying to chill and work on me for the first time in my life. I really started focusing and getting me, and look at God, you know?
Yeah.
So, God works in mysterious ways.
Absolutely. I think that's when your person is presented to you. When you're not looking, right?
Yep,
you're not
I say
even
that all the
pressed.
time.
You're not even pressed
Those are
about
God
it.
moments.
I'm trying to tell you. I mean, I was trying to be so stubborn. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I don't want to get to know anybody. But sometimes you can block your blessing. So I had to step outside my own way.
Yeah.
And you and I have had many conversations, and it's like you go through things, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to go through it because there's many lessons to learn in order for you to grow.
I think that God prepares us to go through all that silliness with our exes.
Yeah.
'Cause they ask for a reason.
Right.
So I think when you finally find the right one, you be like, I know.
Yeah.
I ain't messing this up.
Right. And that's true. That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And it comes when you ain't looking.
when you ain't looking.
I knew she was the
Exactly.
one for you when you was showing up late to do shows and when you had us outside in the
yeah.
rain.
Whatever.
I was like, he found her. She is she.
Oh my God.
No, I think that's wonderful, man. Like,
Yeah, man.
I think that's wonderful. So do you think that both of you are the more complete version of yourselves that showed up in this marriage?
Yeah, because I mean, she had to go through what she had to go through for her to really understand love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We both really didn't understand love till we started loving each other.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? It's like I done grown so much in this little bit of time than what I did with my ex.
Yeah.
Off and on in 15 years. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good feeling. It's definitely a good feeling.
And my life is moving better. You know what I mean? Things are happening better. You know what I'm saying? It's like now when I get into certain situations, I'm not even stressed like I used to be.
Right.
It's like, okay, all right, it happened. All right, let's move on.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely different.
The comedian Michael Collier said something that I think is one of the greatest lines I ever heard. Mm-hmm. He said, being in love will change your DNA.
That's deep.
That's deep, yeah.
But I agree with you. I believe that those God moments are so rare, but they so big and powerful. Because, I mean, think about it. Even if you become successful at what you want to do, a big part of you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah,
so that's why a lot of people are empty, because there's no surprise in it, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you knew you were going to...
You know your talent.
You know it, right?
That's it, yeah.
But it's those moments that you just didn't...
That's it.
Or those, no, I was gonna, and that's true. I was gonna say, then there are those moments where the unthinkable happens. Some experience happens. You're introduced to somebody. Somebody crosses your path. Something crosses your path that you weren't expecting.
That's true.
Those I call those God moments. That's
and
God.
I have to agree.
That's a God
I have
moment.
to agree because
I haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah.
Especially like when it comes to like women and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that synergy and that, oh my gosh, this is it. I ain't had one. Oh man.
So I'm gonna share this
Jesus.
with you. We talked about Love Minus One last week, right?
Oh boy.
And so I got at 13 years old, I heard that song. And what stood out, this man is screaming to the top of his lungs about he's in love. Well, fast forward to today, I'm ready to scream to the top of my lungs.
You're in love.
Yeah, so I
Plus
get it.
one.
Plus one, not minus one.
Right.
So I get it, like
you can't handle the truth.
It brings everything full circle, right? So at 13 years old, listening to the song, again, a couple of things. Never thought I would be working with the lead singer's son. Never thought I would meet anybody in the group.
Full circle.
Full circle, right. And so, you know, it's like I see your dad screaming on the mountaintop, you know, singing this song. So I said that to Steve, like, it's like this man is in love and, you know, that feeling. And he said, yeah, that's how love is supposed to feel. It does make you want to just scream out. And it's a beautiful song. I mean, you and I, you know, I think you see it.
I see it as, I mean, okay, so.
But yeah, that's what I got out of it. That's what drew me to that song, because he just was so into it. Mm-hmm. And at 13, and I'm hearing this, and I listen to a lot of different music, but that stood out because of the notes he was hitting, and I could feel it. So I think that's why that. So yeah, coming full circle. I want to do something different, Nick. So rest in peace, Sly Stone. I was a big fan.
Oh yeah.
Can we get some Sly Stone up in here?
You know what? Right before you play him, I had just watched this documentary in April. And I have a big vinyl collection, and I had the best of, and had never played it before.
Wow.
Now I knew who he was, but
yeah.
I mean, but when you watch the documentary, he literally revolutionized.
Yes.
Everything that the 70s, the late 60s, early 70s rap. I mean, the multi-lead singer songs,
yes.
The songs about taking a trip, drug, you know, getting high, or like Larry Graham is the creator of the popping bass sound.
Yes.
Bing, bing.
Right.
That's actually Drake's uncle.
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
That's his father's brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and even that, Larry Graham, just, you know, is amazing.
In a million.
I like that, but I like Just Be My Lady. Yeah.
But yeah, rest in peace to Sly Stone.
Yeah.
Now you talk about a true legend.
Costumes and oh my God,
revolutionized it all.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that it was the family, touring together, and he was very protective of his family.
Because I think it was him, his brother, his sister, and then the other ones were their friends.
Right.
What you going hit us with, Nick? What you want to hear?
Yeah, do a mix.
Dang, and then on that notice,
summertime, those summer days.
Fun in the summertime. You want to hear that?
Yeah, we can hear that, but he can do his mix too.
No, I ain't gonna mix.
I know, but I mean, yeah.
It's
Let's do the summertime. I like that too. I mean, it's like it just had great music.
Affair.
Yeah, great music.
Everybody is a star.
We're gonna play him live or something. Let's see a live clip of it.
Live clip.
Let's get to it. Sly and the Family Stone live.
Yeah.
Oh, is that John?
John said he appreciates you and you're an outstanding guy.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you, my man.
Yes.
Whitey nigga.
that was so cool.
That was super dope.
Yes.
A medley by Sly and the Family Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Fun in the summertime. Don't call me whitey nigga. And we're gonna take you higher. Medley.
And that was a good way to end out, you know, take you higher.
Yes.
First of all, I love the outfits, you know.
I'm telling you, they
just
revolutionized
saying,
all of that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, they did.
Yes,
they really
indeed.
Did. They actually did the first song with a drum machine in it.
Okay.
Which was Family
that.
Affair.
Oh wow.
Yeah. First record that had a drum machine on it.
Wow.
So they were in front of the curve early. They really inspired Earth, Wind and Fire and Ohio Players.
Right.
And, you know, Parliament Funkadelic and Slave and Confunction. That all of that's basically Sly and the Family Stone.
Right.
Just updated to the 70s. So
yeah. It was cool though.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was thinking about this. I said, but I didn't pull it. Maybe I still have time to pull it together. I got the comedy show Saturday, and I was like, and on a Sly Stone, I might have to break out my 70s gear or something.
And why not?
So yeah, let me talk about that real quick. So hold on, let me pull up the flyer because you got me. All right. So we got the Smoke Out comedy show this Saturday. 4:30. What is it? 4:30 to 7:30. That's at Club Sizzle. I'll post the flyer on my Facebook page and Instagram. But definitely, if you're not doing anything, it's Father's Day weekend. Please come out and support. It's gonna be some great comedians, and and so Unc is performing.
Yeah, Unc performing.
Okay.
I'm DJing.
Shout out to
Nick
Unc.
is DJing. That's right, DJ Big Nick.
We got Ray Diva, comedian.
Okay.
Pudgy Rosa, I guess that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Jack in the Box. Be there. Jack in your box, excuse me.
Okay.
Host gonna be Mook Man because it's a Mook Man entertainment demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Snowski gonna be in the building.
Okay.
And of course, Queen Jackie is gonna be in the building
That's
in
right.
her Sly Stone hot ass outfit.
Yeah, I got to pull something together real quick. But it's going to be a great night, great way to start the Father's Day weekend. So if you're not doing anything, please come out and have a laugh on us. All right?
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, this was a wonderful show.
Mm-hmm.
I super enjoyed it. And once again, shout out to all of the lovers in the house, the couples, the husbands and wives, the husbands and husbands, the wives and wives, whatever you rock with, whatever your thing is. But also, shout out to the single people.
Yes.
The people that are taking the time to be in the silence, the solitude, and the comfort of yourself. Keep talking to God, keep praying to God, keep God first. Let's keep honoring him, and we're going to be all right.
We're going to be all right.
All right. Next Wednesday?
Peace out. 2 weeks. We're taking 2 weeks.
2 weeks? All right. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right. It was good. Definitely a great show. I'm glad.
You are now tuned into Mixstation Radio Live. The views and opinions of the guests and the hosts you hear on Mixstation Radio Live are not necessarily those of the staff and the management of Mixstation Radio Live, its sponsors, or advertisers.
Hey, I want to start a podcast.
Join the mix.
Can I broadcast to millions all over the world?
Join the mix.
Can I control my own content and share my show?
Join the mix.
Can I promote my product and my events?
Join the mix. Mixstation Radio is a worldwide internet radio station that specializes in video and audio podcasts on all social media platforms. You can download our free app, Mixstation Radio Live. That's MIXX Station Radio Live. We have 2 locations in Towson, Maryland, and Eastern Shore, Maryland. With our new service, you can host your own show from home with Mix Mobile. That's MIXX Mobile.
Did you say I can broadcast from home?
Yes, we have a new service called Mix Mobile. We can come to your location or you can log on virtually.
Hold up. That can't be true, man.
Yes, Mix Station can air any show from anywhere in the world, and all you need is a strong internet connection. Also, we have a toll-free 1-800 number.
So you're telling me I can stream on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all the formats all at the same time and have people calling with comments?
Yes, join the mix. If you want to join the mix, email us at mixstation@gmail.com. Again, mixstation@gmail.com. That's MIXX station@gmail.com.